Good morning. I want to thank you all for coming to our PLC meeting. My name is A.Anderson, and I will be facilitating our discussion today. Our objective for today is that by the end of the PLC, our team will prioritize the most essential outcomes for our first unit, determine how students will demonstrate mastery of the essential learning outcomes or objectives that we have previously written, and we will create or refine formative and summative assessments that are aligned to those ELOs. And furthermore, we're going to start developing our pacing guide for this first unit to ensure that we have sufficient time for learning, assessment, intervention, and extension. Do you have any questions for me before we begin?
Sure don't.
No, we're good.
All right. So what I would like for y'all to do is go ahead and open up the document where we wrote our essential learning objectives last time. And we are just going to go through and make sure that we have a clear understanding as to what we want students to know and be able to do, that we are clear on which ELOs are absolutely essential for students to learn by the end of this unit. So in looking at our document, we have prioritized our standards as either essential, additional, or supporting. And so when we're thinking about our assessment, what are our thoughts on which standards and ELOs are the ones that we need to target the majority of our assessment toward?
Are you just talking about the ones we have labeled essential, or do you want us to take a look at the test from last year to take a look at the ones we're focusing on?
We'll open up the test from last year here in a moment, because we're going to go through and make sure that we have our test matches what we've determined are priorities, right, and make any revisions.
Sure.
But more along the lines, my question is, when we're looking at these ELOs that we've written, if we're trying to think about this assessment as a whole and what we think are the most important standards, we should really be kind of thinking about which way our test kind of should lean.
Okay.
So that if we say this standard, because our standards are ridiculously long and complex, and they can't just be like, I will understand this. It's 12 different topics in one standard. Essentially, we're trying to break down how many questions on that we need to ask kids in order to determine whether or not they understand.
How many questions normally are a test, since I'm new to this?
Was it like 20?
20.
I'll scroll down to the bottom.
Do you change every time, or you kind of focus on?
We have previously aimed between 20 to 25. I want to say our max is, except for our midterm, because our midterm is comprehensive.
Okay.
It also, when we're thinking about the numbers of questions, which I guess we also just need to look and see what the numbers, how many essential TEKs that we picked and which ones we've determined are essential learning targets. We also need to look and see what kinds of questions we're going to ask too.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I think it's important that we definitely have the scope of this questions and especially the first one's analyze political issues. So how is that one tested? Is that usually a multiple choice test, or is that a short answer question? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So we probably need to look at that.
Okay.
So on our test from last year, we had 22 questions, with the final question being a short answer.
Okay. Because I was also thinking, because we also talked about essentials, but then we also talked about, were they a spiral or a unit specific?
Mm-hmm.
So our spirals, we might want to maybe eventually those end up being our written, our short answer questions.
I like that idea.
And then we move like our unit specific ones maybe are more like maybe those are those, oh, what do they call them? Special forms, special, the ones that aren't multiple choice that are like,
Oh,
what are they called?
what are those? The
Special question options or
There's
something?
something, yeah,
Yeah,
it's special
sounds like that.
and it's questions.
But yeah, they're
Hold
really
on.
specific on us making sure we cover those
Yeah.
before the
Yeah.
STAR test because they're gonna be.
question
And
types.
then- Yeah.
Okay. So I like that.
And so basically what you're asking is that you want us to go ahead and kind of take the most important of the most important questions and figure out exactly how many
Of those we
we
need,
need to
because we need to test the essentials.
Right.
We need to test some of the supporting,
Mm.
but overall, we kind of want, when we're building these tests, if we're trying to prepare kids to be successful on the STAR or any other form of standardized test, it should really lean more towards what's going to be most tested so that
Yeah,
they're more
sure.
prepared, so that it kind of matches.
So like, for instance, if this were the progressive era,
Yeah.
we would be asking a lot of questions about Teddy Roosevelt.
Yes, even though overall on the midterm, we
Uh-huh.
might narrow that down, because I think the last time we analyzed it, Teddy Roosevelt was like 7% of questions, which is still a lot of questions about Teddy Roosevelt.
Right.
But it wasn't just in the realm of the progressive era, it was also in the realm of like expansionism and because he's
conservation, environmental.
his Bull Moose party. So he's kind of a big deal. It's a good thing we like Teddy. All right. So, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so, like for instance, we can probably maybe save a few of the questions, for 15B because it also talks about the Sherman Antitrust Act, the Interstate Commerce Act, and the Pure Food and Drug Act. We're gonna be hitting that pretty hard in the progressive era, so we might not necessarily need to ask a whole bunch of questions on that over the westward expansion / Gilded Age test.
Absolutely.
Okay,
And if I remember right from our test from last year, because I'm looking at 15C, which we have tagged as a supporting teak, it says explain how foreign policies affected economic issues such as the Chinese Exclusion Act. I want to say we have quite a few Chinese Exclusion Act questions on last year's test. And so that might be something that we like, those are ones that we could potentially revise.
yeah, well, I'm looking at it now and I feel like it's, yes, the Chinese Exclusion Act, but it also, for instance, we talk about, nativism and the disdain for other cultures. So while Americanization, nativism,
Mhm.
Chinese Exclusion Act, we're kind of talking a lot about not liking other cultures moving into the United States.
Found it. Sorry. I was looking for the STAR frequency distribution.
Mhm.
So like the Gilded Age last year in 2026, growth and change in the West was 1 question.
Okay.
Immigration was 2 questions and industrialization was 4 questions. And over the last 9 years, industrialization was tested 32 different times, immigration 16. I'm going to chat this to you guys so that we can look at this, because I love, when I was teaching 8th grade, this was like my Bible.
Oh yeah, that's so helpful.
It's very helpful.
Yeah.
That way we can,
Here it is.
percentage wise,
Yes.
kind of make it match.
Yeah. And then honestly, for our midterm, it's going to be super important because we can be like, we don't need, especially since it's longer.
Mhm.
And we can ask more questions about Teddy Roosevelt.
All the questions about Teddy Roosevelt.
Okay. There it is. I just chatted it.
Yeah, last year we also had the demographic structure shift in the United States question. We had the multiple choice over the Chinese Exclusion Act with the political cartoon multiple choice with Uncle Sam and the Chinese Exclusion Act. So yeah, we could probably taper off a few of those.
So with that,
I'm also going to put a file in our PLC folder.
Yeah, and I should probably not look at the 8th grade one.
Yeah, it's the second page.
Yeah.
Do you want it in data or do you want it?
You can just put it in PLC.
Okay.
So based on this, we know that we need to. So in the past, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, there's been 64 questions, right? What's 64 divided by 9?
7.
So roughly 7.
Yeah, it's like 6, it's like 7 point something because 7 times 9 is 63.
Yeah. So we would say that on average, there's like 7 questions on each star about the Gilded Age, right?
Yes.
So if that's the case, 7.11111, like 50% of those questions would be about industrialization. So if that's the case, when we're looking at our test, if we want to set it up to where the kids are seeing the same type of process, you're looking at 1/4 being growth and change. One-fourth being immigration, but early immigration, not for the Gilded Age. So that would end roughly about, say, 1905-ish.
Mhm.
So actually, do you want to round that up to 1910 just so it's like an easy block off?
Yes.
Sure.
Because, yeah, so 1910, because we have that second wave of immigration and the first major immigration laws in the 1920s. And then industrialization would be half of the questions.
So kind of keeping that same structure for our unit tests.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So now that we know that,
Okay.
what is an easy number to divide into fourths? 20?
I was gonna say 8, but yeah, 20.
For a test.
For a test. We still have to make the like formative like checks that we'll
Okay.
do. So
Like the
for
exit ticket.
exit tickets, or we'll come to when we start pacing some hard deadlines
Mhm.
where we'll be like, okay, so maybe we get through all of growth and change in the West. We give this little mini assessment for a formative. We bring that back. And then we discuss that data. Then we get through immigration, same thing. And then we can have like a mini formative assessment prior to the summative for industrialization, just so we can be like, if we need to make any changes in that moment before they take the summative.
Sure.
I know it's not data friendly, but we also talked about being on like digital and on paper.
Mhm.
And those little checks might be like a 5-question quiz, might be easier to do on paper
Mhm.
than on formative, especially if we're really concerned about like cheating and stuff.
I agree.
Those smaller checks, so you can do 5 questions on one page, like bing, bang, boom.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And that's easy to grade. Not that I mean, I haven't hand graded in like 10 years, but
Well,
Sometimes I really like re-hand grading things.
I miss it kind of because I feel important.
and I also think it's like, if you really want to talk about retaining knowledge,
Yeah.
well, let's ask them 3 short answer questions
Yeah.
and make them handwrite something. I mean,
That's a good idea.
there's going to be like 5% that are illegible, but
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, the kids with accommodations, that's an easy digital thing too. Like,
Yeah.
it's not, yeah.
All right. So now that we know that of our ELOs, the priority on this summative is going to be mostly industrialization, followed by growth and change and immigration, which have about equal priority based on star.
Mhm.
Let's go ahead and open up the formative from last year, our summative assessment. And while we're looking at that, we're going to see what those questions are, determine if our assessment currently, because if we're doing a 20 question, we're looking at 5 about growth and change, 5 of immigration, and 10 on industrialization, which also covers like urbanization, that early part.
Hmm.
The Bessemer process would fall into that.
Mm-hmm.
All of yours is called formative, right?
This one is called Gilded Age Unit Assessment. I can see if I can share it with you again.
Share it with me again and see if,
'Cause I
at
added
least
you
I'm
the,
in Cedar Park. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
on Cedar Park, so that's a bonus.
here, let me just copy the link.
Did you get that one?
In my formative.
Because I added you as a collaborator.
I just added you.
Let me see. I think I have them in my email. Let me see if I open them up through here, that if it will like.
And I sent it to you through the chat as
Okay.
well.
Let's see. I just have to open it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I see it.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So in looking at our TEACs, we have for the topics for growth and change, we're looking at 3A, parts of 3B, because it talks about growth of railroads, farm issues, and the cattle industry boom.
Do we need to be like making note of this somewhere on here, or
I'm taking notes right now.
no? Okay, I would say on this master spreadsheet. You want like, okay.
3,
You said parts of 3A? I'm sorry, parts of 3B?
yes.
As in like there's not an actual label for 3B?
Well, there
Just-
is, but 3B is analyze economic issues such as industrialization, the growth of railroads, growth of labor unions, farm issues, cattle industry, growth of entrepreneurship, and the pros and cons of big business. So it includes multiple things within that teak, but it's economic issues.
So we're just basically talking.
So when we're looking at it, we're looking not just at because if you take a look at like 3A, analyze political issues such as Indian policies, the growth of political machines and civil service reform, we're looking at political, economic, and social.
Okay.
So like those are our massive teaks. And so when we're looking at questions, we need to look for things that specifically address political issues, economic issues,
Okay.
and social issues. And then with 15B, it is a spiral teak just because it goes over 2, but we do need to look, and it should fall under industrialization at free enterprise and laissez-faire. So we need to make sure that we're looking for something.
So yeah, we bolded the stuff
Yep.
that it was going to be.
Do we have any questions over did you say 15B?
Yes.
I don't think we had any questions over 15B last year.
Oh, no, that's not great. So we know we need to add something about that.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's just not in order for some reason, but yeah, there's one question over 3B.
Okay. One question over 3B.
Is it number 18?
Yes,
Is that what you're-
read the excerpt and
Yeah, yeah.
answer the following questions.
So then
Are you looking at the teaks right now?
I was, not the takes, I was looking at the questions.
I can read off the numbers, and if there's
Oh.
anything I don't say, maybe we can highlight that one and
Okay.
prioritize it.
I could put it under question. I can't type in these boxes.
Which boxes?
The questions of the CFA. I'm trying to think about how to do this effectively.
Are you on the edit?
Yeah, no, this one.
Oh,
I was like, isn't this where you are?
yes.
Okay. I was gonna say, cause like we could just put in which question numbers are this, but it's, I
So
guess I could just add a column
let's just add a column.
and put question numbers. Like
Yeah.
question.
So I'm on insights right now. It tells me the number of each teak we have.
Oh, I can't see that because I haven't assigned that to a class yet.
Oh.
So I can't see any of that. I can just see the thing.
And I can tell you how many each, what percentage missed the question or got it correct.
There's
So,
a
In,
question-
oh, sorry.
like there's a thing for whatchamacallit. Misconceptions.
Yep.
I need to do.
So
You were very 3A and 3C heavy.
yes. So that tells me that our test was skewed to something that it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, feels like we need to ask more questions.
And it looks like we need to focus them more on some of those economic issues and a lot of the industrialization, which is missing.
Okay. All right. So I thought I could do something, but yeah.
Can we get rid of this question 11 a chance if anyone's taking a look at it?
Let me look. I think we also need to get rid of question
Not 11.
2 because that's Jacob Reese, and
Yeah, I saw that.
I feel like
yes, I did it. Okay.
Jacob
sorry.
Reese falls more into
Thank you.
progressivism.
Sorry. Hold on. I have to take. How do I take out the? Clear comment? Yes. Okay. Question. CFA. Question number on CFA. Okay.
And then you said 11.
Yeah, the poverty, famine, political oppression question. New Catholic churches were built, urban areas expanded. Not that I don't hate the concept. Just the kids aren't wrapping their head around it.
So with that one, this is one of those what would now probably be a drag and drop because that's an older question. Because it is
I closed the tab. Sorry.
it happens.
It was an accident.
I'm not against getting rid of it, but I do think we need to find something similar to put in its place because this one is an immigration question that is.
Could you rewrite it to make it a drag and drop?
We could.
Well, and I mean, honestly, even if they just use simple critical thinking skills, like it's a very easy question. I know a lot of kids
Get it wrong.
get that one wrong.
So it's a cause effect diagram.
Yes.
And so it gives the causes, it gives the effects, and what they have to do is determine what like the event was.
But honestly, we could keep this question and this could be, we could do stuff like this as an exit ticket because sometimes when they see those that like we might use the same diagram, but we just as an exit ticket, we, use a different concept.
Yeah.
And then at least so it's like they've seen the map before and then you can move into like.
Well, we could do almost the exact same thing, rewrite it and just use it for Chinese immigration.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would it be? Almost like several of the same things.
It's
And then
absolutely the same
just-
thing except for the Catholicism,
There's a rise of Buddhism in
ethnic enclaves,
wait, huh?
ethnic enclaves, Chinatowns.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Maybe we should,
Ma'am?
sorry,
I don't know what this religion is you're speaking about.
sorry.
Some bigger words.
That's the AP vocabulary, but Chinatowns.
Okay. A rise in Chinatowns. Well, I mean,
And then
what would be to the Chinese as Catholic is to Irish?
Chinese are, I mean,
Buddhist?
Depends.
Okay.
So the thing about the history of China where it gets really complicated is that Buddhism is not a like can only be Buddhist
Mhm.
religion. So when the Christians showed up and they were like, "You're Christian now," they were like, "Okay," and still practicing Buddhism
Mhm.
because they can go together.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
unlike with Christianity, Buddhism doesn't necessarily mean specifically, if that makes sense.
It does. So what could we put there? It could be like the rise in
So we could still put um we could put something about the railroad.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
We could put in something about the rise of
is there some sort of food item we could put in there?
I mean just
The rise of Chinese food.
Okay, but that's not appropriate. I think we're getting the nitty gritty.
Yeah, we can talk
pull
about that
back.
later.
Yeah, let's pull back.
Where's the squirrel catcher?
okay.
Rabbit hole alert.
So if that's the case,
Most famous Chinese food.
just remember that American Chinese food and Chinese food is not necessarily the same. So what we are looking at here I do think we need to change some of these questions to be interactive question
Agreed.
types because
Yeah.
there's not any on there.
Yeah.
And I also think because again,
Okay, did we need to go back and list which ones we have currently and which ones we need to, do we need to go put that on the, so like, do we have any, we don't have 2A, but we have 3A, right?
yes,
Which numbers were those?
3A is number 1.
Okay. No. Number. Barney had the list.
Oh, well, yeah, sorry.
3A, which question numbers are they?
3A was question 1, question 14,
Okay.
question 16, and 17.
Okay.
So did you say you wanted to get rid of question 1?
No,
Oh,
Dawzak stays. Question
okay,
2
I
because
was-
it's Jacob
oh,
Reese.
yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say question 1, Dawzak definitely I think should stay.
What about, let's go through and like list these questions so we know where we need to adjust. So is 3B. Read off the list, Barney, that you were going to read off to me earlier.
Okie doke. Sorry, I got distracted by trying to look up the Chinese cuisine that would increase in the 1800s with the immigration. So 3C has 4 questions.
Okay.
Question 2, 3, 4, and 5. 13A has 3.
Hold on. 13A?
Mhm.
No, that's not on our list.
It's not on our list for Unit 2.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
So where is
Thousands of African Americans moved to the Great Plains so that's the Great Exodus.
that? Is the Exodusters. So those would all be supporting, even though they're not listed. That's because
Who
on
made this test last year, anyways? I didn't.
Yeah,
It was you? I was sitting here thinking it might have been me. And I mean, I take responsibility.
Well, I did run it by you, but
It's the beginning of the year.
So basically what we need to look at too, though, is
So under the regular, like full on teaks, if you
Yeah.
look at
13A is there.
the first page, 13A is there.
Okay.
They're just not considered. I mean, actually it is. Oh, it's because it's very
13.
13A is analyze the causes and effects of changing demographic patterns. We have so many 13As.
So basically everything is 13A. That's the problem.
Yes,
Okay.
because it includes westward expansion, rural to urban migration, the Great Migration, and the Rust Belt to Sun Belt.
Okay.
And then 13B, which will probably be on there as well, is analyze the causes and effects of the changing demographic patterns resulting from immigration.
Can we recategorize those questions probably
Yes.
under different teaks, or we take out, or we need to add?
I think there are way too many 13As.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think-
it almost seems like we could recategorize question 7 as a 13B because it's talking about a change in demographics, right?
Which question?
7.
7,000 African American, the exodusters.
Great.
So 7 would be 13B now?
But that's also not on our list because it was a broad one, right?
Yes, because it's in
Well, I thought
almost
13B
every
was-
single unit. So
Okay.
they didn't put it on there.
Oh, okay.
Because in the EUS, 13A is in 2, 5, 8, and 9, and 13B is in 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah. So basically take
Okay.
out some 13As,
And add in
these other ones.
these other ones that we're missing.
Okay. Do we want to put it somewhere on this spreadsheet that 13A has this many? Or do we just want to like a special note?
Yeah, let's do a special note.
I'm gonna put special note out to the side. I'm gonna skip a column and put special notes.
Okay.
And okay. So right here, we need to say questions. Which ones again, Barney?
The ones we were just talking about?
Yes,
The
the 13A.
A is question 6, 7, and 8.
7 and 8.
Did some of these get like reclassified recently, like from the previous star test or something? Because now that I'm thinking about it, I was looking at the star test and I was pulling questions from there.
Mhm.
So if it was classified as, a priority several years ago,
Yeah,
then
That's
that's probably why
probably
we
why.
put 3 of them in there.
That makes sense. Were there questions B? Was there
13B
Yeah, was there
is
13B?
9 and 11.
and some of these could be tagged by multiple standards as well. Like on this test, we only have it tagged with one standard. But if you take like which statement describes one way the Bessemer process contributed to the economic development, that is 26A because that is, scientific processes, but it is also 3B because it's an economic issue that was related to the growth of industry and entrepreneurship and industrialization.
Okay.
So some of these are multiple standards.
Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Mhm.
Okay, so there's 13 questions right now. So we just need, which ones are we missing?
Say it one time, sorry.
We need the rest of them.
Can I give you 2A?
Yes.
Okay, so
Oh, no, you did not give me 2A.
okay, 2A was question 13.
Okay.
3B is
Oh, just
question,
number 13.
yeah, just 13.
It's identify eras.
That's true. That's all. That only needs to be one question.
Mhm.
Okay, 3B.
3B is question 18. 23A is question 19. That's Andrew Carnegie, so we could definitely push that too.
20.
Well, no, because Bessemer process, I think that's what it is.
Carnegie brought the Bessemer process over, but
We also have him highlighted in this cheek on this page. Okay.
So 23A is question 19 and 26A is question 20 and 21, which actually 21 is the Bessemer process. 19 is the civic and social life.
Okay, what are the last two numbers you just said for
Last two is 20 and 21, 26A, 20 and 21. According to ChatGPT, you could also use the increase in tea that is drank in America for the Chinese immigration to
So with that, the summative assessment, we've kind of figured out what all we have. So now we need to go in and ultimately, before our next meeting, now that we know what we have and what we're missing, each of us identify some questions to bring back and have as ones that we can put into it, because we've talked about what we need to keep, what we need to change, and what we just need to discard, and potential other question types to have. Along with that, in looking at those questions, when we're looking at those questions and we're bringing those questions back, in this next part after this, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and look at formative assessment. And as we're looking at the formative assessment, we're going to put in those checkpoints and have like 3 little mini quizzes. And so we will come back and we'll look at those questions for each, because we'll do one for growth and change, one for immigration, and one for industrialization.
As far as a mini quiz, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
And from there, we can put in those.
It would be bumming.
We will use, once we have figured out those formative assessments, seeing as we're out of time for today's meeting, we'll come back and we will continue on in our journey of pacing out this unit. That way we're prepared for when the kids come. So our next PLC meeting will be tomorrow at 9:30, and we will pick back up with what we're doing. Do you have any questions for me? All right, cool. All right.
Make sure it's